And hello once again, and welcome yet another bit of gardening touring done by yours truly here as we move into another week. So in some respects, just sort of continuing where I've been before. The last few weeks have been kind of just sort of maintaining and just basically getting ready for the shift. After a very, very warm week, we are moving into a slightly cooler evening here. Some lovely clouds in the background. Actually, I'll just take a quick sort of view up there just to sort of give you an idea of the view. Wonderful stuff. Should be some album covers in that somewhere or another. But anyway, after some very humid days, it's starting to turn, and that is good because it is starting to just gently suggest just a little more as we're moving into fall. And in fact, we'll all be out here in a couple of weeks to do a massive joint gardening project, putting down some just sort of mulch and other things to help provide a little extra protection coverage for the garden area all around, and I'll have more to say about that at that time. We'll also be doing some extra work with the garden plots, our garden plots specifically, getting ready for fall then. But for now, as you've kind of already seen and shown you, some tons of roses. A lot of the blooms from last week have really come through, so we'll be doing quite a bit of trimming there. Some really lovely red ones here for pink, and more of the white ones, and just marvelous again as always, so quite a bit here. Society garlic still kicking along. After the gopher attack, at least the artichokes are actually starting to come back a bit, so we're seeing a little more activity here, so we'll see where that goes for the future. Over here, the Roma tomatoes, they're plums, we've got a few of them, a number of them down there on the ground, but other ones here are very much ripe for plucking, so we've got a few here, even though there are some things starting to very much turn brown in the distance. Malabar spinach doing actually very well here. As you can see, quite a bit of new growth down below. So we've got that going. And then we have that sort of going up there. So just sort of giving some focus. And as you can see, some leftover little tomato-y stuff right here. Some last little bits of flowers and stuff flourishing. The marigolds continuing along. The basil, as you can see, just really going to town down around here. Some sort of extra growth on the tomato plant, but there probably won't be much here. More basil again, so pesto galore. I really need to do some stuff with what I have. Some chard we still have here. A lot of chard has been recently harvested, but still going along well. And then coming back around here, as you can see, the squash plant is probably sort of moving to the end of its time. I can see some new blooms down there, sort of tucked away, might be sort of starting to come up. But otherwise, this one's sort of nearing the end of its particular cycle. And again, it just won't stop. Molokaia, and now the shisho is really moving into the next sort of phase of its blossoming. Haven't really been doing much in the way of like taking the leaves. In some respects, I almost want to see what it turns out to be with all these marvelous flowerings and things happening. So if it sort of stops the growth, it'll just sort of make it nice. I'd like to think we sort of contributed something new to the place. And so actually some of the flowers are starting to come through right here. Very small ones, but it's nice to see happening. So that's where things stand right now for this week. Emma over there is getting ready to do some Malabar spinach harvesting, and then Y and Grayson are coming along, and we'll be making further plans what else to do. Sun's starting to break through, so it'll start to warm up a bit, but it doesn't feel too hot. There's a nice breeze. We seem to have come here just at the right time for the week, so we're very glad about that. So again, another weekend. We'll see you all next week. And then a little bit after that, when we do the great sort of extra garden work around here, and we will be planning again as we start moving into fall. We've been talking about new crops, new things to plant, and also some ideas what to put, especially in these back beds over here, new things to add. So look forward to that, and we'll talk to you all soon.